All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Now, we are back on the Grunge channel. And this title right here to me was so interesting. So interesting. Paul McCartney's rules for his staff are beyond weird. Now, I'm just wondering, is this just him or is it like the Beatles? I mean, I know it says Paul McCartney, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, appreciate all the love and support with you guys coming over. As always, I'll leave the link to their channel in the description so you can check out more videos yourselves. Also, shout out to all the good humans. Link is always in the description for those who were wondering. So we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
Paul McCartney has spent over 60 years bringing joy to millions with his cheery, upbeat love songs. But serve his crew steak and you're asking for trouble.
Wait,
Here's
what?
why being on McCartney's staff may not be the dream job it seems like. When author Stan Slapp was writing Under the Hood, his book about employee culture, he wanted to learn how certain employers secured an all-in commitment from their workers. So he spoke with Brian Ray, the bassist and guitar player in McCartney's band. Ray confirmed that it wasn't just about hiring the best, most technically gifted people and then putting them up on stage. Instead, McCartney requires more from those thinking of joining his band: the ability to change things up on the fly. Ray told Slapp, "Anything can happen. We're not playing to Pro Tools, pre-taped material, or time references. We're not tethered to anything but each other up there. We are sharing a live musical experience like real musicians have always done, and it requires you to have visual and audio connection with each other. It's an immediate, vital music experience for Paul's band." Of course, things can go wrong, and when they do, McCartney does expect his people to fix it. But overall, Ray says that working with the singer has been a transformative experience. He revealed to Slapp, "McCartney has made me a better musician, and he has made me a better human being." When Kylie Olson sat down to talk to Brian Ray about his incredibly long career, the conversation naturally turned to what it was like to work with Paul McCartney in the studio. At the time, he had been working for McCartney for 2 decades. Ray revealed to Olson,
"Yes, you could call him my boss. I mean, he's more than that."
When it comes to playing with McCartney in the studio, Ray admitted that the singer is pretty particular about what he wants. For one, McCartney expects his people to set up an almost shocking number of instruments. He added that for the former Beatle, it's not about what he plans on playing in any given session, but what he might want to play. And that includes multiple pianos, several...
And ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make it. He said, just in case I want to, I need it to be ready. I understand that 1000%. You don't make it to where you are without, preparing yourself. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. There we go.
Keyboards, various synths, and guitars. Ray told Olson,
"And they're all set up and mic'd and ready to go because he might want to play piano and then jump over to acoustic guitar back to back."
Ray says that it all has to do with the way McCartney works. If something pops into his head, he'll want to record it that second. Yep. Ray added,
"So it requires everyone to be on their toes."
Paul McCartney is about as famous for his vegetarianism as he is for his music. So when he spoke with The Guardian in 2010, he not only shared some of his favorite recipes, he also revealed that he tried to convince the Dalai Lama to become vegetarian. So it's not entirely surprising to find out that he also expects his staff to eat vegetarian meals. For example, for his 2010 Up and Coming tour, McCartney made it clear that anyone working on his crew couldn't eat meat. Moreover, when McCartney put on a Canadian show at Mosaic Stadium, a vegetarian menu was one of the conditions of the show. Fast forward to 2017, and Perth Now reported that McCartney's Australian shows had gotten even more strict. A crew member told the outlet, "All the crew members have to eat vegan food. No one's allowed to eat meat for 3 weeks on site. It has to be vegan food." The crew member also noted that McCartney wanted a guarantee that his vegetarian...
What are y'all doing with that? Please comment below. I'm all like, you know what, Paul? I respect you, brother. You are an icon. You are a living legend. But I'm out. You telling me I can't have no chicken? Nah, we gone.
Menu would be adhered to, or else he wouldn't go on stage. That said, people in the crew haven't always been happy about McCartney's food restrictions. In 2004, crew members complained to local newspapers that they were being expected to work 12-hour days on strictly vegetarian meals.
People say to me, "Don't you miss a traditional sausage?" I say, "No way."
Ask most stage workers, and they'll tell you that one of the most important pieces of clothing they wear is a good pair of heavy leather boots.
No way.
But when you work for Paul McCartney, that isn't going to happen. According to workers setting up for one of his European concerts in 2004, they were under strict instructions not to wear any leather, including shoes or belts. In 2017,
Damn.
Burke now reported that the zero-tolerance policy for animal products also extended to backstage furniture in his cars, and it had been that way for years. When the Smoking Gun got a copy of McCartney's concert rider, it confirmed that the Yesterday singer's limousine couldn't have leather seats. It also specified that the backstage dressing rooms couldn't be furnished with materials sourced from animals.
Oh, man.
And that makes sense. Why go vegetarian and vegan for animal rights and then use hide-covered furniture? But strangely, there's one more step to the rules and requirements for furnishing a McCartney concert. He also insists that there are no faux animal skins, fur, or prints either.
I enjoy being vegetarian.
Check out Paul McCartney's Facebook page or Instagram, and at a glance, it seems pretty standard for someone of his status. There are plenty of throwback pics, concert images, and photos of him in the studio and at events. But according to what he told GQ, McCartney actually has some instructions in place for his social media team. Those following his pages won't see anything super personal, aside from the occasional birthday or anniversary snap, and that's by design. McCartney says that he trusts his
Hey man, you know how much trust you gotta have to let someone else run your social media, and it's a lot of celebrities and artists and people who do that. Ain't no way I could be like, here's my phone, and you can just imagine, like, you know, all it takes is that for them to post something crazy, you know, because remember, there's a lot of people out there who just don't give a damn. If they post something they ain't supposed to, get fired, go to jail, they don't care. They'll be known as the person who did that. There's some people who think like that, you know, just like the person who shot Brother Lennon, who wanted to be known for doing that. So I'm just saying, to give your phone over, I don't know. Like, it's not even them that's responding to your comments. When you comment, it's not even them. You're like, happy birthday, Paul. He's like, thank you. But it's somebody else.
team to run things most of the time. However, he did add that he enjoys dipping into his social media accounts on occasion, especially when something big or important has happened. But the singer doesn't like to spend too much time on social media, saying, "I'd rather just go off into a corner and try to write a song."
It's one of the great things about writing songs. It's almost like a therapy.
He also says that it's important to him that no one gives too much of his private life away when they're posting for him. He's not going to be promoting a hot new restaurant, publishing poolside photos, or sharing some of those vegetarian recipes he's so fond of. Those restrictions are for good reason. He told GQ, "Why would I want to tell anyone where I was? Why would I want to tell them what I'm eating? That's private. Otherwise, you don't have any private life." He suggests that it was easier to be famous during the heyday of the Beatles. Sure, everyone knew who they were, but behind closed doors, they still had their own private lives.
Wait a minute, hold on now. What are they wearing? So, I'm just looking what they're wearing in this video. Was he? I'm just wondering, did he I might have missed it, but did he turn vegetarian? Because he said no faux, and I'm looking at that fur right there. So I'm just wondering.
Sure, everyone knew who they were, but behind closed doors, they still had their own private lives. Gina Vincenza Van Epps is an Emmy-winning seamstress who worked with Paul McCartney in 2013. It was her second time working for the former Beatle. Van Epps had come further along in her career, though, and this time she was given an inside look at his wardrobe department. In the process, she learned that for his wardrobe staff to effectively do their job, it required some serious commitment to organization, as well as meticulous record-keeping. In an entry on her Psycho Seamstress blog, Van Epps revealed that everything in McCartney's wardrobe was labeled, and the labels were pretty extensive, too. They revealed both when and where the article of clothing was worn, as well as the coordinating shirts and accessories that went with it. Van Epps wrote, "The hang tags document his White House performance, his appearance on Saturday Night Live, charity events, and concert dates from 2010 to present." Van Epps went on to add that there was a very good reason for this. The wardrobe people had to be so meticulous because there was a good chance his clothes would be donated to museums or auctioned. For this reason, institutions needed to know where his clothes were worn. And when you're a huge star like Paul McCartney, your clothes can go for a lot of money. In 2004, a suit that McCartney wore in 1964 sold at Christie's for a whopping $53,775, which was about 6 times the estimated value.
Are you kidding me?
In her 2013 blog post about working for Paul McCartney, Van Epps admitted that part of her job was to set up the singer's personal items. She also had to ensure that the spaces he would be using were spotless, and spotless is kind of an understatement. It meant doing things like putting down McCartney's personal bathroom mats, making sure there were no fingerprints or footprints on any of the surfaces, and ensuring there was no garbage left behind anywhere, including trash cans. As Van Epps noted, there's also a level of security involved in working for Paul McCartney. For instance, Van Epps was tasked with making sure that the cleaning staff didn't take any photos of the singer's private rooms. She also had to ensure that nothing was distributed in the rooms. That said, each day McCartney was there, everything was re-cleaned and freshened up. Van Epps also noted that even blankets that had creases were expected to be refolded.
Damn.
Paul McCartney might be widely regarded as one of the greatest musicians that ever lived, but that doesn't mean he's happy resting on his laurels. When Billboard took a look at what goes on behind the scenes of his empire, the outlet noted that his company, MPL, and its employees are largely responsible for his continued success. McCartney has also credited his hardworking staff on several occasions. He's also said that he holds his employees to one simple rule, telling Billboard, "I've got a great team, and my main thing is, let's try and keep it exciting." Easy, right? That's debatable, maybe, and it's the sort of thing that's easier said than done. It's also why fans see him teaming up with people like Kanye West and appearing on albums with other performers.
I just enjoy it.
And it's about more than just musical collaborations, as Forbes has called McCartney the master of content marketing. It's also why you see him on Carpool Karaoke, why he and Jimmy Fallon surprised random people by getting on an elevator, and why he's consistently reaching out to the younger crowd with various appearances, collaborations, and interviews. In other words, he wants everything to stay fresh and relevant. So when his team of people sit down to hash out the next big idea, they better be thinking outside the box. Watch any old footage of crowds at the height of Beatlemania and it's nothing but mayhem. All that chaos has taught Paul McCartney some very important lessons about crowd control. And according to what he told the BBC, it's impacted the instructions he now gives his security detail. He explained to the outlet, "What happened occasionally was you had security guys who would growl, 'Get out of the way, move out of the way,' and the crowd would get a bit aggressive. However, that would sometimes have the opposite effect." McCartney continued, "So we learned to keep moving forward and be very quiet and calm about it, out of necessity to not make a crazy scene any crazier. Getting hostile and denying fans a glimpse of their idol would just add fuel to the fire, which no one wants." Now McCartney says that he and his security team have a rhythm, move through the crowd slowly and purposefully and with absolutely no hostility. As the singer told the BBC, he's more than happy to greet people, but adds that he's going to keep moving, because as a former Beatle knows all too well, that's how you smoothly make your way through a chaotic crowd.
Man, very, 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 very interesting video. I mean, I get it with the whole, like, if he's vegetarian, the whole with the animal things and everything, but like, it's just crazy to hear, like, I don't even want to see you with a leather belt on. This limo better not have no leather seats. That's just crazy to hear because I never heard that. Wow. Comment below if you knew any of this. And what was the craziest that you heard? The blankets or the sheets, no creases. Ooh, wee. I guess when you have that level of celebrity, boy, you can get anything you want. My goodness. Hey, shout out to the Grunge channel for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If so, go ahead, like, share, comment, and subscribe, man. Peace out.